Another question is, was the author confirmed by God? In other words, not only do we have a prophet or an apostle or an associate of an apostle or a scribe of an apostle, but does the person speaking carry the credentials of I'm speaking for God? We have examples like for Moses. In the book of Exodus, Moses performs miracles. Miracles that a mere mortal can't do. A mere mortal cannot perform those kind of miracles that we see in the book of Exodus and then into Numbers and things like that, right? And those were signs to the community that Moses is speaking for God. You'll also remember the episode in 1 Kings chapter 18, Elijah versus the prophets of Baal, and they all gather up on Mount Carmel, and they're going to have the sacrifice, and whichever God responds, he's the true God. Well, when Elijah does this, not only is Elijah's God the true God, but Elijah is a spokesman then for God, because he's doing things that mere humans can't do. Now, Elijah is not one of our writing prophets, and you've got to ask yourself, now wait a minute. We have no recorded miracles by somebody like Isaiah or Jeremiah or Ezekiel. And you're right, we have no recorded miracles by them. However, if we accept the time period that they're reportedly writing in, and we'll get into why we can accept the time period that they're reportedly writing in, they're able, especially when it comes to something like Daniel, writing in the 6th century, he's able to predict the next couple hundred years pretty accurately. That's a miracle into itself, isn't it? Then we get into Jesus, of course, and we have Jesus performing miracles. Jesus walking on water, healing people, casting out demons, multiplying fish and loaves, right? And in the book of Acts, when the apostles are trying to spread the Gospels, they actually refer to Jesus who performed miracles in your sight. In other words, saying he has the authority of God. Then we have the apostles right there in the book of Acts also performing miracles, which should be a sign, hey, we're God's spokesman. Paul, in particular, in the book of Acts, he gets a couple miracles, right? He also then, when he's talking to the Corinthians the second time, trying to say, I am an apostle, he says, wasn't I with you? And didn't you see the acts of an apostle performed in your sight? So that has to be a consideration. Not only is the author an apostle, a prophet, an associate, but does he have the power of God working with him?